And welcome to CTV's Tech Analyst, Carmi Levy. Always a pleasure to have Tech Corner with you. Hi, Carmi.
Hi, Trudy. So great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Let's kick off by starting with Elon Musk. We've been talking about the danger of deepfake. We've been talking about the danger of having news manipulated online for quite a while now, for several years. And it seems that we've had a resurgence of this because of the political developments in the U.S. And I'm bringing this up because even some of our CJD listeners have been caught by some manipulated video centered on Kamala Harris that, makes her look like a blithering idiot, but they don't know that it has been edited and manipulated. And others have been caught by deep-faked videos that are also very convincing. So tell us about how Elon Musk seems to have tripped up, X's own guidelines, its own policies by a manipulated video.
Yeah, so this video of Kamala Harris, I think blithering idiot is a perfect way to describe it. She, of course, in the video said things that she would never say in real life, but the video was so convincing that it looked, for all intents and purposes, real. And it spread like wildfire on X over a number of days last week. Mr. Musk then added fuel to the fire by liking it, reposting it, commenting on it. And of course, he is the most popular user on the X platform. And so all of his millions of followers basically bought into it. He poured even more fuel on the fire. That is, of course, as you mentioned, in violation of the terms of use of the platform. But hey, it's Elon Musk. He owns the platform. So what does he care? And I think it's a terrifying example of just how easy it is for misinformation, disinformation, AI-generated synthetic assets to spread a lie so quickly. And the truth, of course, may never get out there. Even if it does, by the time it does, nobody cares. And Elon Musk is essentially ignoring his own rules and isn't being held accountable for it. As we get closer to the U.S. election, certainly we have an election here in Canada next year. It's incredibly terrifying to think that this particular platform, X, formerly known as Twitter, it's so easy for this kind of thing to spread, and the guy who's making it worse than it would otherwise be is the guy who owns it. We should never be in this position, and frankly, that we are. I think governments everywhere should be terrified.
What's your best advice to people who are seeing this stuff online, and not just on X, it spreads on other social media sites too, to protect themselves? My first advice is always, if it feeds into your preconceived notions and gets you riled up, then you should immediately be suspicious. That's the kind of the guideline I use. Do you have any other advice for people who are looking at this kind of stuff, wondering if it's been doctored, if it's doctored video or deep faked?
I advise everyone to lead with cynicism. In other words, don't believe anything you see online. Have it prove that it is in fact legit before you decide to engage with it, before you decide to react to it, like it, share it, retweet it, whatever. Just assume that what you're seeing is a lie until proven otherwise. And if it's a video, of course, we can lean into the video, look at it really closely, because sometimes when it is generated by AI, you can kind of tell it isn't quite smooth. The lips look a little bit different and all that. But at the same time, let's just use common sense, right? There was a video circulating a couple months ago of Justin Trudeau hawking a cryptocurrency, scam. And think about it. In what world would the Prime Minister of Canada be trying to sell you crypto? Let's just think about it. So if you can't verify the source of this video, you have no business engaging with it, because when you engage with it, you only contribute to spreading this misinformation. So we have to become a lot more cynical. We have to lean in and we have to check sources. And if we don't get a definitive answer, we should just walk away or report it as a scam, because there are tools to do that, but do not engage with it, do not contribute to it. And what you'll find is you're actually spending a lot less time on social media, because that's what most people are doing on it. So you'll get some time back too, and maybe you can enjoy that on a terrace somewhere.
Bonus. We are hearing from law enforcement in the States now about some very high-end robbery gangs who have come up with a way to jam Wi-Fi security cameras, but these are pretty popular all over. A lot of people have these cameras attached to their doors now for them to watch comings and goings on their front step or in their driveway. What is going on, Carmi, and is there a way for the ordinary homeowner to protect themselves?
There is. So the Los Angeles Police Department is warning because they're seeing these very well-equipped and tech-savvy burglars who are kind of targeting homes knowing full well that they have wireless cameras all around. They're super easy to install. You don't have to run cable. Everyone loves them. They're awesome. But if you jam the Wi-Fi network and they'll go dark, you can, of course, get in and get out without anyone seeing you. So the police are advising anyone to, if it's an option and you want to have security cameras, use wired cameras, even though they can, cut those wires too. You better protect your Wi-Fi network. In other words, make sure that you're applying all of the security features on your Wi-Fi network before you actually activate these cameras, but also recognize they can still bypass that. They're actually going after the electrical box in some people's houses, killing the power to these cameras as well. So you can use battery-powered devices that are not wireless connected. They actually have storage on board. It's not going to stop them from breaking into your house, but it might make it hard enough for them to sort of say, maybe I'm just going to find an easier mark, because as we know, home security, it's not about fully preventing someone from breaking in. If they really want to get in, they will. And I say this having been victimized myself. But if you make it a little bit more difficult, they'll look around to another victim who is a bit of an easier mark. So, recognize that cameras are not the be-all, end-all solution. And in this case, wireless networks really do seem to be the Achilles heel of this technology, and thieves are getting smarter to it, and they're starting to use high-tech means to bypass them.
And finally, Carmi, I got to know about this tractor beam that scientists think they've developed. It's just so Star Trek, I couldn't resist.
This is easily my favorite story of the last long while. So it's research out of Australia, the University of Melbourne. And basically what they've done is they published this paper, they've done experiments with it. They call it a triple helix solenoid beam. Basically, it's a specialized form of light. And it has an interesting property to it. Instead of when you shine it on something, it actually attracts particles back to where the light is originating. So it has a pulling effect, not a pushing effect. Now, anyone who's ever watched Star Trek, you've seen the Romulan warbirds. You use a tractor beam to take them out of the fight. I was raised on that. You think that this is it. Unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. This isn't going to be pulling a Romulan warbird out of orbit anytime soon. It's very small scale. So they're thinking healthcare. For example, when you have a biopsy, instead of using a needle for a biopsy, which can cause a lot of damage, you can use this very shaped form of light, multiple beams that are kind of formed into a tube that can kind of reach into the tissue, pull small particles out of it. So think maybe pieces of a tumor, a few cells, and obtain that for the biopsy much less invasively, much less damage to the patient, much less pain. So they're working on moving it out of the lab and commercializing it. Could take a few years. But, even though we're not going to have, Star Trekian-like applications of it just yet, in the healthcare space, and I know many of us deal with this every day, can have some significant impacts to us and significant benefits. And I look forward to it. I look forward to walking into a doctor's office and them saying, we're going to track your BU today, Mr. Levy. And I will just say, lay in a course, Captain.
Live long and prosper, Carmi.
I'm down for that. Thanks.
All right. Always great to talk to you. Carmi Levy is CTV's tech analyst.